Hi guys, my name is Siobhan Evans-Egan. I'm a psychic medium. I'm an admin on the International Mediumship page where I will be sharing these videos. I do videos regarding the development for psychic and mediums, professional people, people who are just practicing, people who are just opening up on intuitive level and they're just curious. So this video is about on the topic of if you have a person who's coming for a reading or you have a practice session coming up and you connecting with a spirit communicator before you do the reading. So I just want to talk about kind of the upside and the downside of that happening. Okay, so first of all, naturally, it's going to naturally happen. It's if you do, sometimes I feel like I nearly scream out, please come, make sure you come spirit world before I do the message. Or sometimes I can just sense it. And this is where, first of all, we really have to trust in that reading. If whether it's a practice reading or whether it's a professional reading or whatever reading it is, that you cannot preempt the reading. You cannot prepare in that sense and say how it's going to be. You don't even know if it's going to be medium reading, because it could be psychic intuitive. So it's important before we do a reading to go, I am just open to receiving information whichever way it needs to come to help this person. So say you connect in with a spirit communicator, you're in your kitchen, you're getting prepared, and all of a sudden you get a feeling of a lady. Her name is Mary, and you felt she passed from cancer. You might get dates, July or whatever, and that's perfect. So you get on with your day, your reading arrives, or your practice reading arrives. Now, I just want to talk about if you go and you connect your reading, you connect with the person, and you're not really feeling a connection to spirit world at the moment, nothing's really happening. And then you decide to talk about, listen, I connected in with a spirit earlier, I got the name Mary, I got that she passed from breast cancer and she died in July. Can you understand that? No, I can't take any of that. I don't know. Mary, I don't know that. And you're going to go, all right, Grant, whatever. And you'll drop it. Or you will continue trying to connect back in with Mary and you will try to get that information up and running, and you will think it's a figment of your imagination. You will lose your confidence and you won't trust what's happening. So my advice, and this is from me doing it, was if that happens and I do naturally connect in with a spirit before the person arrives, I always trust and go, if that needs to come up in the reading, then you need to show up and you need to come in that sense and bring that to me. So reading, my client arrives, I'm connecting with spirit world, and I feel the push to say that information in which I received, then I would do it. If I don't get a push to do it, I've often done it where I bring it up afterwards and they can never take it because one, I could have got the name wrong. Two, I could have got the diagnosis wrong. And three, I could have got the dates wrong, and they're not connecting. So when you're connecting in with the link and it's naturally happening in that moment and you're connecting in with that power of the spirit, it's so different. If you're connected to, you can work with the mistakes, you can get to know and you can work with it. I feel that when I don't do that and I just give information in which I've just received without like linking in, it's like it's empty. It's great, it's information, but it's like it's a memory. It's like a photographic memory. It's like I get the information, but there's no power behind it. So my advice there, if that happens before a reading, is to trust first of all that the information from spirit world will arise back up. It will come back up. You'll get a feel to say it again. You might connect in, like just feel Mary, whatever it is. If you feel that you do want to say the information which you received, then fine, that is completely up to you to mention it. But to be aware that you're talking about it from a memory. You're not talking about it from being linked in that moment unless you truly are. So just trust that, because if that happens, like the person in front of you might not be able to take it or they might be able to take it. But please be aware and be really honest if you're connecting in at that time or it's just from the memory from being in your kitchen. So it does happen, guys. It happens all the time. There are plenty of readers who connecting with spirit world, and they write all the information down, and then they might contact you through email, or they might contact you through phone, or just give you the information. And if you come in for a session and then they're writing it, calling out all this information, that's really good. They could be connecting in at that time. But in that moment when they're giving that information, they may not be. So if you get no's for anything, they're not going to be able to kind of work on that, if that makes sense. The other thing is demonstrations. I have learned this the hard way. Standing up just before you do a medium link, and you could be sitting down for a while waiting on other people to do it, and then I'll stand up and I'll go, well, earlier I had such thing and such thing, and you might get someone that goes, yeah, and you might not. And if you don't, then you're standing there, your energy will drop, because you'll go, oh my God, what am I doing? So I remember one particular night I was heading to a demonstration, and I was connecting in with a male, and overwhelming emotions were coming through. And it was like he was afraid he wouldn't be allowed come through in the reading. And that was the feeling I was getting. And I basically said, if you need to come back up, I felt uncle. I said, if you need to come through, then I'm going to give you permission to come through in the reading when I'm doing the demonstration. But I can't do this now. So I let it go. I would completely let it go. I stood up, I did my demonstration, I had 3 or 4 links, and then I felt this male presence come through, and I was working away, and it felt familiar to me. It felt familiar to the energy in which I connected in on my way to the place. And then I was able to go, would you understand an uncle in spirit who, it's like he's feeling carrying shame, and it's like he's looking for permission to, is it okay with you that he comes forward? And she completely understood what I was talking about, because I was linked in. If I had just stood up and gave the information from receiving it in the car, but from my head and not the heart link, I don't think it works as well. Now, everyone's going to have different opinions on this. Some are going to go, it worked, it didn't work. So you have to ask yourself, if you're doing it, does it work? Do you feel, if you do like a information before you go in, and you just give the information, do you find like it dies off after a minute or two? Does it work? Does the person take it? How does it work for you? So that's the most important part. If it works for you, brilliant. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It does not work for me. I've seen it. I've experienced it in a demonstration. I will not do it unless I get the communicator coming back in and it feels familiar, and then I will go with that information. Absolutely. I will trust it. In a one-to-one reading, I will, if it comes back in, definitely. But I also, sometimes I just mention it, and more of the times they'll actually go, well, I can't really connect to that. And I go, okay, that's okay. It might not have been for them. It could have been for anyone. So this is the thing. So ask yourself, we all want to make sure when we're doing a medium reading that we're praying to God, even doing a demonstration, you're like, please, please, Spirit, come true, please. I'm going to give you one proof. But if you do that, preempt before it, it's from memory. It's not from that link in that moment, and it might not have the power to back it up, and you could be left standing there getting a no and no one recognizes it. So please, please trust spirit, trust the information. If you're connecting beforehand, it's natural. Like a lot of people go tell people, the spirits, to go away, do this and that, but you know what, it's us that we're reaching out. We're nearly, part of us is like begging, please come forward. So this is where we have to trust, and that not all readings are a medium reading. Most of them are life guidance. So does pre-linking work for you, or does it not work for you? For me, no. I rather make sure that I'm feeling the power, connected in with that flow, and I know without a doubt that I'm connected in with a spirit communicator. So, but as I said, everyone is absolutely different. So this is just, if it works for you. If it doesn't work for you, go for it. But just trust in your readings that if that person that you got the information from is true to form and will come true, they will come true. They will back it up. They will not let you down. So I just wanted to put the video out there. Does it work? Does it not work? For me personally, no. I don't trust it. I don't trust it because it's a memory. And unless I'm in the link and in that power to back it up, I don't normally use it. And I know when to use it and when not to. So I'm just asking for the sake of those people, those readers who connect in with spirit and get all the information beforehand, is to know the difference and be really honest if you're actually connected in presently in that moment with a connection with a medium link, or is it just the after effect of what you received and you're working from that essence and not the true essence. I'm not saying you're right or you're wrong. I'm just saying that it's to be truthful and be aware of that connection. So I hope this helps, guys. So take care. God bless.